Brash Taunter's the cop of the turf. It's the top of the curve.
He's the cock of the curve.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. When you zoom out, it looks like a big dickhead. That's because Brash Taunter's in the mix, baby.
Because Brash Taunter's standing there with his fist in the air.
Yeah, that's right. And by fist, you know what we really mean.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is the Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 449. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to continue talking about Redwall by taking a burb boat to Value Town. Now hit our theme song! I said what I said. Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Oh, good. What is going down?
Whole bunch is going down. We're going to do a really cool listeners suggested, sent in, if you will, Bloomburrow deck that's going to be present at Magic Fest Las Vegas in the Raw Dog section. Stories to tell, people to thank. Before we get to any of that stuff, you have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They are your source for all your gaming needs. And we also have to thank Pile of Bones Brewing Co. They are the second coolest thing to come out of Regina and the official beer sponsor of CCO Sidewalk Slam Season 2 right here on YouTube.
That's it. Look at, if you were watching on YouTube,
which you should be,
you would see that my shark shirt looks like he's eating the can of beer.
Neat.
I noticed that before we started recording.
If you'll notice on the show on YouTube, which you should be watching, you'll notice on my shirt that you can buy it at commandercookout.com at the shop.
Oh, look at you doing the podcast business. Well, let's get into it so Editor Joe doesn't crucify us. Big thanks to FusionGamingOnline.com CCO Summer promo code.
CCO Summer still.
Yes, CCO
Good.
Summer. Yep.
That saves me 5%?
Yes, sir.
Of things I'm going to buy anyway.
Yep.
So I'm going to buy stuff
Literally anything.
that I was going to buy anyway.
Yes.
Spend less on it.
Yep.
Magical.
First-time users, if you're spending over $100, CCO Perks promo code, you're going to get 10% store credit kickback. That's kind of like getting a 10% discount.
And that's a pretty good deal for doing something you're already going to do anyway.
Yeah, like if you're going to spend 200 and some bucks on a booster box, you're going to get like $20 off.
Yeah.
That's like a case of beer when you come and hang out at a CCO experience.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we've got some coming up. We've got Regina. That's like that's a warm-up one, right?
It's a
like
mini
September
one.
14.
But it does include several of our good friends that live in Regina and the
Yep.
surrounding area.
Yep.
It includes our good friends at Pile of Bones who are
Yep.
hosting us to eat tacos, play pinball, drink beer, which I'm very excited about.
Yes, sir.
So I
And-
think that lots of people are going to come in for that. We're going to have a great time. Some of the CCO family members are
Yeah,
coming down.
I was playing Magic with them on Monday, and like literally everybody's coming.
Yep.
Keel's going to be there. FU Alex, FU Aiden, Ben, Smitty. I think his family. I think Jesse and his family are coming. Lara's coming.
There we go.
Man, everybody's coming. You and I are coming.
So if you are available to go to that, like it's going to be like it's a one-day event, but if you're looking to meet literally the entire CCO crew, this is your chance. It doesn't happen very often where you get to meet all the hometown dude bros. So if it's something you've been curious about, we're all going to be there. We should all take a group photo.
Ooh, a group photo, a grotto.
Yes.
Yeah. Then the following weekend, or like 27, 8, 9 of September, I'll be in Toronto. The planning pages or the planning threads or whatever in Discord for Regina and Toronto and Calgary, all up in the Discord. It's the best benefit to becoming a Patreon supporter over at patreon.com/CCO Podcast.
Not only do you get in on all the super sweet shit that we're doing, but you get to help the channel grow and help us keep making content like this for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. And you get first dibs on CCO experience, and you get like I'm going to call it like CCO insider trading, right? Like Kelly from Face to Face messaged me today, and he's like, hey, we got to get on a call to plan the after party. So there's going to be an after party in Toronto on Saturday night. Oh. I know. Hey, I'll be thinking about you. I'll take like a dick pic and send it to you or
Oh,
something.
gee, thanks. And then I'll have to get my magnifying glass out. I'll have to zoom in really close.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Damn, he got me.
So much work.
I know. Hey, it's going to be fun, and I'm going to say that that's going to be like the trial run for the Calgary Championship weekend. It's not a Command Fest in Calgary. It's like a championship weekend. So all of our real competitive Magic friends are going to come there, try and win money, invites to the Pro Tour, and all that stuff. So like Actually Good Kyle's going to be there.
Yeah, so Actually Good Kyle's going to go there. He's going to day 2. Everybody else is going to go, like 04, 03 and drop.
Yep.
Then they're going to go 03 drop, drink. It's going to be a super good time.
Yeah, they can buy an O2 Drop Play Commander sticker from CommanderCookout.com in preparation for how bad they are at Magic.
Yes, and they are.
I'm going to use that as a slogan whenever I talk to any of my non-Commander friends now. I'll teach them. I'll teach them good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two more pieces of business.
Two more pieces of business.
But one is super funny.
Okay.
I saw a little preview for the next Brando's box opening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my Lord. And we talked about one last week, like a special off the beaten path one.
Yep.
That's not this one. This is another one.
This is another one. I've been working really hard, and I worked really hard on this one. And my people that I like to run these things by, Producer Gary and Ryan, both think that it's really good. So I really hope that people are going to enjoy the Bloomburrow themed BBO. That
I already have
an
an idea of how I'm going to transition to what it normally looks like, to what it's going to look like for this one. I already have what I'm going to do in mind.
I even practiced. There was practice involved.
Whoa, more than one take?
Oh, no. I still got it done in one take. But in order to get it done in one take, I had to there was practice.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, I'd be sitting there watching TV or whatever, and there was practice.
You'd be working it, and I know exactly what you were working.
Yeah, and everybody else is gonna know what I was working too. They all think that I'm touching myself, but I'm not.
You're touching something.
I was touching something, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of technically sort of was me, but in a different way than you're thinking. Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, it involves butt stuff. It really does.
It actually does.
Yeah. So if you're interested in any of that, BBO on the CCO YTC.
Coming up soon.
I don't know what the Bloomburrow accent of that is. Squeak, 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 squeak. I have no idea. Okay, last piece of business, and this is one that's really close to me, is August 12th.
August 12th.
I've been touting it and showing Brando and getting Rebecca to proofread my altar book. It's finally coming out. It was supposed to be out in January or before that, November, then Christmas, then January, and now finally August for my birthday. So if you're interested in altered art cards, you want to learn how to do it, you want to see the history of altars and their cultural impact on, I guess, trading card games in general.
Sure.
And then how to do them, what kind of supplies, setting up a studio, all that kind of stuff, photographing for social media and developing themes if you want to start painting decks. That's kind of the pathway that I took with my art career. I can't call it that. But it'll be available, CommanderCookout.com. It's an ebook. It'll be available for download, and it'll be cheap.
Learn some shit and have fun doing it.
Hey, yeah, you learned how to do it. We've had some card painting sessions.
And I had fun. And I still play some of those cards. And some people have even traded me for them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
You're practically a pro.
I know, right?
I know.
I'm based every Thursday on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
Keep your eyes up.
Brando does them all. So we've got a Bloomburrow deck to do today, and it's submitted by All Filler No Chill Miller, who does Commander Munchies on the CCO Media Group YouTube channel, and it's Zinnia Valley's Voice.
And we talked about this person last week, where we thought
really like this one.
This is a really cool commander. It's got lots of neat design space, where the only real constriction that you have is playing creatures that are small.
Sure.
And that's pretty cool. So it feeds into your token strategies, it feeds into your little value guy strategy, which is where I feel Aiden really leaned into with this deck. And then it gives you the opportunity to take your little value guys and turn them into big value guys, because you get 2 of every creature you play.
Okay, so I'll give Zinnia a read here. A 3/1 Bird Bard for blue, red, white, flying. Gets +X+0, where X is the number of creatures you control with base power 1.
Base
power,
Yes.
not power, but base power. Okay, then creatures you control have offspring 2, and that means you can pay an additional 2 generic as you cast the creature spell. If you do, when it enters, create a 1/1 token copy of it.
Yes.
Now, specifically though, we got to remember that offspring is a when you cast it ability.
Correct.
Not a ETB ability. So we can't infinite blink in white and blue and just continue to pay 2 to get infinite numbers of guys. You got to cast.
Yes.
Okay. So
very true.
What we're going to do here, I think, correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
is play a whole bunch of 1 power guys.
Yep.
It's going to give us a ton of value.
Yep.
Some of them will buff other ones,
Yep.
make unblockable,
Correct.
and or eventually we can Voltron with Zinnia because it's going to get huge.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with the... Oh, no, before that,
Oh.
Raw Dog deck.
Yes.
So Aiden's going to play this in Vegas, probably in one of like the Raw Dog showdowns that they have like on the sidewalk or in the backyard or on the floor of like some frickin'...
Just the greasiest basement. They're in
Yeah.
Vegas. Like, you ever see Saw 3? Or not Saw 3. Hostel 3?
Hostel
Just
3?
like that.
Yeah, it's like behind some liquor store and they're going to be playing Magic on the ground, like looking for cigarette butts. That's this deck, okay? So we're going to start off with the ramp. And remember, 1 power matters.
Yes.
We got a gold mirror, iron mirror, silver mirror.
Boom.
End of section.
Yes. All 1 power. You can pay 2 to get them, or you can pay 4 to get 2 of them. It's very
And
simple.
they all tap for 1 of a color in Zinnia's mana cost. And they're all technically 2-drop mana rocks.
Yes.
And you know what? People are always like, oh, they're so fragile because they're an artifact and a creature. The only way this is getting caught up in an artifact kill spell is if somebody Vandal Blasts, which I don't see very often anymore. And the only way somebody's going to actually kill one of these is if it gets caught up in a sweeper. Nobody's pointing a Terminate at one of these, right?
Never, ever.
The only way that these creatures die is
If
with
you
sweepers.
block with them.
Or sweepers.
Yeah.
Right? And normally, like, early and mid-game, you're not blocking with these anyways. So
Yeah, like, who gives a shit?
Okay. So, where are we going to go? Draw? Control?
Let's do the control because it's small.
Okay.
And this is easy as pie. We got a Bishop of Binding. This is a cool card.
It's a 1-power guy.
For 4.
When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until Bishop of Binding leaves the battlefield. So it's like an Oblivion Ring.
Sure.
And when it attacks, target vampire gets +X, where X is the power of the exiled card.
Pretty good.
And it is a vampire. Probably important that we say that.
Very important because there's not too many other vampires. But this thing could hypothetically get really big. And if you do it late in the game and you get 2 of them, you get the 2 biggest threats off the board. And now you have dudes that are arbitrarily bigger than them,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, if you pay 6, you can exile 2 things, and then you can attack with, like, let's say you get an Atali and like some 4 or 5 power flyer.
Yeah.
You've just made like frickin' 12 power.
Or let's say you get I guess you couldn't get the same guy with both things because...
No.
Yeah, that sucks. It's like you get the Ulamog and then go Ulamog on the same one. But you can still do that. When you attack with one of them, both of them trigger, and you can target one of them.
Attacks, target vampire gets. Oh, so you could target the one vampire with both triggers.
Yes.
Ooh.
So you get a 6/6 and a 7/7,
Okay,
and one of them
so
gets +13/+13. Pretty good.
Let's remember that because later on in the Little Guys Matters section, we're going to see some things that care about like 2 power when it attacks or something is unblockable if it's small. We're going to see that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So that might matter if we like exile a Blightsteel and all of a sudden we're hitting for 13 2 times. Right? Okay, so Deputy of Detention, this is a 1/3, enters, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls, and detain something, leave the battlefield. It's an Oblivion Ring.
It's an Oblivion Ring that gets a thing and all things that share a name with it. So if you get a Saproling token, you get all of the Saprolings.
Or
If you get-
Persistent Petitioners.
Yeah, like
Uh-oh.
Relentless Rats, Rat Colony, all that shit.
Hey, that might be important because we just got a bunch of new rat commanders. They might be, you know how rats sometimes kind of see a resurgence. And
Do you
then they
think we'll
come
see
back?
the resurgence of the rats now that we have the snail making one that gives rats access to 2 extra colors and a win right now condition? Like if you save some mana, now the rat deck can kill the player that's like the guy that's like while you're what are you doing? What's the thing? Thrumming stoning? Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, look at me, I got a fucking Wrath of God in my hand. And then you just kill that player for being a douche. With the snail guy, do you think
what?
rats are going to see a resurgence?
I don't think so.
That's too bad.
I don't think so.
It's
It's
too
not
bad.
too bad. Like lots of people play them, and like it's a known commodity, right? It's not like somebody's. I don't know. Maybe we will.
Next card is Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah, you're yawning.
I'm yawning.
You're yawning. Dusk till yawn.
Dusk Till Yawn. Perfect.
It kills all creatures with power 3 or greater. Next.
But what does the rest of it do? That's
I-
important in this deck.
I don't. Return all creatures with power 2 or less from their graveyard to their hand. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that gets all of our
Okay.
dudes back.
Yeah, that gets every creature in our deck.
Yeah, that's important. That's an important card to this
Okay.
deck.
Okay, fine. And then finally, Sculpted Sunburst. Sculpted Sunburn was me on the pre-show yesterday. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Choose a creature you control, then each opponent chooses a creature they control with equal or lesser power. If you choose a creature this way, exile each creature not chosen by any player this way. Everybody chooses a guy, and somebody lives, everybody else dies.
Yes.
Sure, we can choose like our commander.
Correct.
Or somebody.
Or somebody. There are some dudes that are pretty important to the list, but the odds are you're going to get everybody's big shit, and they're going to be left with a mana dork or a value guy or somebody that's already done their thing, which is important.
Okay. Man, it's going to be hard to blow through these card draw spells because they all do something quite unique. But I'm going to try and get through it by summarizing what they do.
Just go from the bottom and we'll go up. All of them are some variant of like attack and do damage and draw a card. There's so many of them that do that.
Welcoming Vampire is the first one.
It's a vampire of note.
Oh, yeah. With what's it
flying.
called? Bishop of Binding it goes good with. Vampire with flying. Okay, whenever one or more creatures with power 2 or less, which is all of them, ETB, we draw a card, triggers once each turn.
Cool.
Okay. Spirited Companion, ETBs, draws a card, 1 power.
Dope.
Rumor Gatherer. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you scry.
Yeah.
If it's the second time, draw a card.
Boom. Rotisserie Elemental.
I was going to say Rosary. Rotisserie Elemental. That sounds like an uncard, hey?
It sure does.
There's like a chicken on a rotisserie.
Yeah, he's got like a hot dog or something, but he's like holding rotisseries. I don't understand. It's the fire holding a rotisserie. Who cares?
Yeah.
What does it do, Ryan? It has so many words
Oh,
on
man.
it.
It's got Menace when it deals combat damage to a player. Put a skewer counter on it. Oh, God. And then sacrifice it. If you do, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of skewer counters, and then you can play them. Sure, it's chaos draw for when you attack.
For a bunch of stuff, yeah.
Nimble Brigand is a 1 power for 3 when it blocks. If you've committed a crime this turn.
It can't be blocked if you've committed a crime this turn. When it hits somebody, you draw a card.
Sure.
Easy as pie.
That doesn't even register. Like, I would never play a card like that.
This next card is the exact same card, except it's a 1/1 for 2. That when it hits you, it draws a card, and you can flip it over into when it dies, you can play it from your graveyard as an enchantment that turns whatever it is enchanting into that ability.
Okay, too
Mentor
much.
of the Meek, creature comes into play, you pay 1, you draw a card. Library Larcenist, whenever it attacks, you draw a card. Fibblethip, Lost on the Range, has ward 2. You can look at the top card of your library from any time. You can plot your cards from the top of your library by paying their mana cost.
Oh my God.
Eternal of Harsh Truths, when it attacks and isn't blocked, you draw a card.
Oh my God.
Crimson Caravaner, it has double strike and trample, and some version of when it deals combat damage to a player, you chaos draw a card. Connecting the dots is never a dude you control attacks. You get a dot counter, and then you pay red and 1, sack it. You exile the top X cards of your library. X is the number of counters on this. You can play those until the end of your next turn and assemble the players. I have no idea what that does, but I feel I've done quite well so far.
Assemble the players is 2-drop enchantment this time, not a creature.
Okay.
You can look at the top card of your library at any time.
Sick.
Once each turn, you may cast a creature spell with power 2 or less from the top of your library.
Dope.
That's a good one.
It's pretty good.
It's like a little, what's the little jellyfish guy from Neon Dynasty? That one. That's what that one's like.
Sure.
We could play that one. I'm sure it has 1 power.
The memory chip?
Oh, yeah, something like that. And that one we're not playing because it's like $7.
Now, little aside here. If you're playing a raw dog deck, the value of the raw dog deck doesn't mean anything.
No.
Just because it's raw dog, it doesn't mean it has to be budget. It's whatever you've got and are willing to play without a sleeve.
Yes, sir.
So if you have the reality chip and you want to put it in a deck like this, do it.
Yeah,
Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Sol Ring, Lion's Eye Diamond. You got one you want to play no sleeve? Do it.
Somebody in the nation, and this is like our second or third raw dog deck that we've done like in the last couple months, right?
Yeah.
Somebody submitted a picture of their raw dog deck, and I don't remember who it was. They've got like a transmute artifact or a copy art. They've got something expensive and a mana vault. There's somebody that's got like a Mana Crypt in theirs.
Yep.
And I mean,
if you got them and they're already beat up, you might as well play them.
And you might as well just tear your opponents apart. If you can make mana faster than them with a raw dog deck,
you're probably going to win.
You're going to spend money on magic cards that make you go faster. It's just like horsepower, right? If you want a faster race car, you need to create more power.
Yep.
And Power is a function of speed. Mana is a function of speed in Magic. If you want to make mana, you're going to pay money.
Yep.
And, man, I'm telling you.
Man, I wanted to build that Raw Dog deck. You know how much that fucking otter costs? $30.
What otter?
The otter that gives all your dudes prowess? It's $30.
Oh. Did you open one on BBO? No spoilers.
Can't open them. They only come in the starter deck. So in order to get one...
That's why it's $30.
Yeah, because nobody wants that shitty fucking deck. So I have to find somebody that wants one and then see if they'll trade me that. My money, 5-color mono white Angel Aaron, because there's an angel in there.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping that he wants to buy one for the angel thing, and then he'll let me give him some money so that he can recoup some of the cost.
Yes.
And then I'll have the card I want.
I bought the Lord of the Rings starter decks for the Sauron that you can just dump mana into to give all your guys +2 and drain 2.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a powerful Magic card.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one, yeah.
Not too
Okay,
bad.
so I want to do the Voltron section last because it represents kind of like a secondary win condition.
Yes.
Which means we are on the little guys and the things that make little guys matter.
Should we do the guys first?
Let's do the guys
first.
because
let's do the guys.
Let's do the guys. And there's 24 of these little guys that all have 1 power.
Yeah. And there's some cool cards in here.
Yeah,
I like some of these a lot.
Remember on the review last week when we were talking about Zinnia, we were saying it allows you to break like the rule of Commander that says you can only play 1.
Yep.
Right? Why are rats popular? Why are Dragon's Approaches and Persistent Petitioners?
Slime Against Humanity.
Yeah, why are they popular? Because you can do some novel thing that allows you to play more than 1. And that's what Zinnia does. So imagine every time we say that this card exists when we read it, imagine you have 2 of them.
You get 2 of them for 2 more.
Okay, so Yotian Frontliner.
When it attacks, another target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn and unearths for a white.
Okay, so that's going to give our commander +2/+2, in addition to +2/+2 for creatures with 1 power. So our commander, just having this guy, is going to be a 5-power flyer.
Pretty good.
Just throwing that out there as a reminder on the first card.
Wharf Infiltrator is next.
I've played this card. 1/1 with Skulk, which means it can't be blocked by a bigger guy. And when it deals combat damage to a player, draw, then discard. If you discard a creature card, you can pay 2. If you do, you create a 3/2 horror creature token.
Cool.
Sure.
Why not?
So it gives you some reach if you're going to toss away like a 1/1 that's redundant with some other effect you already have.
We're out in the wasteland with Vexing Radgull.
Radgull. When it deals combat, it's a flyer. When it deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 rad counters if they don't have any rad counters. Otherwise, proliferate.
Neat.
And that might matter because we got some +1s in here, don't we?
And it's important to know here that base power of 1.
Yes.
So if your dudes have a bunch of +1/+1 counters on them, or if you've equipped them, or something happens where they're bigger,
Yep.
as long as their base power is 1, your commander still gets bigger. That's important.
Yes, sir. Okay. Tillinolli's Summoner.
Tillinolli. Who's Tillinolli?
That person?
No, because she's their summoner. Stupid. The point is, it's a 1/1 for 2 with Ascend. So if you have 10 permanents, and this will help you get to 10 permanents, because whenever you attack, you can pay red and X. If you do, you create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens that you sack at the beginning of the next end step, unless you have the City's Blessing.
Sure.
So that's going to attack, make you a bunch of dudes, and make your commander a bunch of big.
Oh, yeah. That's really good.
Because they're all 1/1s. So you're basically like fire breathing your commander and making bodies at the same time.
Yeah.
And if you make enough bodies, she'll trigger Ascension all by herself.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a cool card. I
Yeah.
like that one.
Okay, Sky Knight Vanguard, 1/2 flyer. When it attacks, you get a 1/1 white guy that's also tapped and attacking.
Neat.
Rabbit Battery.
Man, what a card.
Okay, +1. It's an equipment, or it's got reconfigure, so you can cast it as a creature, as a 1/1, or you can equip it to give +1 and haste.
You can cast it as a creature, and then you can equip it like it's an equipment, and then if the creature that it's equipped to eats shit, it comes back into play as a creature. Pretty cool. Well, not back into play, but like it just becomes a creature again.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really good.
Okay, Phoenix chick.
I love this. The
didn't even
picture
know
on this
that
card is
card
amazing.
existed.
It's this little fat burb that just can't. It's so cool. It's a 1/1 for 1 with flying and haste that can't block. Whenever you attack with 3 or more bros, you may pay red. If you do, return Phoenix Chick from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking with a +1/+1 counter on.
Oh, there's our first +1 right there.
So it's bigger, and it still makes your commander bigger, which is cool.
Night Veil Sprite. When it attacks with flying, surveil 1. Neat. There you go. Niblis of the Urn.
What the hell is that?
That's a 1/1 flyer. When it attacks, you can tap target creature. I like those effects, actually, because I can attack, and that'll trigger when I attack, which is very distinctly before you block.
Yes.
Just a little tidbit of information out
How
there
many
for
guys
the,
with reach you got? 1. Ha! Not anymore,
Not
dick face.
anymore, dick face. Yep. Narcent Metamorph. There's no R in there. Nascent Metamorph?
Sure.
Sure. It's a shape. Hey, that's a little otter. He might belong in where are we? Bloomburrow.
Bloomburrow.
Oh man, when it attacks, target opponent reveals the top card of their library. You copy that card and you put something. I don't know. You probably get the card. I'm not reading it all.
Reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal a creature card. It becomes a copy of it until end of turn.
Mirror Entity.
This is a good ass card.
This is a good card in this deck. It's a changeling, if that matters, and you can pay X until... You know what, actually? This makes your guys have base power something of whatever you put into it.
Yes.
So maybe you want to put base power into it of 1 if you've got a bunch of those Eldrazi horrors.
Yep.
But if you got 10 mana, you're probably going to make all your guys 10/10s.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of the deck, doesn't it?
Sure doesn't. It just does your deck more. This card turns all of your cards into your commander if you have enough mana.
All of your guys can have big equal to mana.
Correct.
Okay. Good card.
Yes.
Good card. Mad Ratter. It's a goblin.
Yep.
4-drop goblin. When you draw your second card each turn, you create 2 1/1 black rat creature tokens.
Neat.
So you remember our how many cards? 13 card draw section.
Yep.
We're probably going to draw 2 cards a turn.
Draw a couple cards. Away you go.
Okay.
Legion War Boss, he makes a goblin at the beginning of each combat that gets haste that has to attack that turn, but it makes a 1/1 every turn, and if they survive, then you make more, and you got a big army, and your bird gets bigger.
There you go. Speaking of bird, we've got a Healer's Hawk. It's a flying lifelink 1/1. Great job finding that one on the frickin' floor of the LGS.
Immolation Shaman. I like this card.
Okay. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land that isn't a mana ability, Immolation Shaman deals 1 damage to that player. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Okay. And you can go red 3, and it gets +3 and gains menace until end of turn.
Sure.
You could do that 2 times and have a 7 power guy.
Yep.
That's still
base power
base
1.
power of 1. Yep. Okay. Oh, another bird. Harrier Strix is a bird. 1/1 for 1 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, tap target permanent, and you can pay 3 to draw, then discard.
It's pretty. Lots more card draw than you've been led to believe, right? Like there's 13 in
Yeah.
the section, but there's like 17 cards that do it so far.
Yeah, I like the picture on that one.
It's just a bird.
It's a big old owl.
What a dump.
Okay. Dinosaur Thopter. This one feels like it should be a bird. Gold Forged Thopteryx. White and blue for a 1/3 flying lifelink. And legendary permanents you control have Ward 2.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we don't have very many legends. Maybe 5 in the deck.
Isn't there a partner bird? It's like blue 1 that gives all your commanders Ward 4 or something?
Yeah, isn't there SEO or something?
I think so.
I think it's a 1/4 that gives commanders you control Ward something.
That could be a decent addition.
Good one in
here.
this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, guys, we have to talk about Fairy Seer
Oh,
first.
baby.
Comes into play your Scry 2. That's it.
Flying
Move on.
1/1. Hold on. If Healer's Hawk came off the floor of the LGS, this was the card folded up under the bar table leg to keep it from wobbling.
That's right.
That's what this card is.
That's correct. Oh baby.
Oh, you ever see this card actually work?
Yes.
Oh,
Now that I play Obeka, I've seen this card work often.
Give it a read then.
And to great effect. Dragon Master Outcast is 1/1 for 1 red at the beginning of your upkeep. If you control 6 or more lands, you get a 5/5 dragon with flying. And yes, I realize that that's outside of the 1/1 thing we're doing here, but it's a 5/5 dragon with flying.
Yeah, and this thing natively is a 1/1, so it still is inside what we're doing.
Yes.
There's no saying that we can't get other bonuses for running shitty 1/1s.
That's right.
That never work.
Also correct.
That we found on the floor. Oh, speaking of doing work.
Man, this card is just...
You ever done work with this card?
Oh, yes, I have.
Okay, tell us what it is.
Devilish Valet is a 1/3 for red 2. Trample and haste.
Ooh.
The haste is so key. Whenever a creature enters battlefield under your control, double his power. So just for offspringing him, they come into play as like there's a 3/3 and a 3/1 with trample and haste. Let's say you draw a card after that and you got that goblin in play, you make 2 more goblins.
Wouldn't they both be 2/2s? Because the ETB at the same time, and they would see each other, wouldn't they?
Whenever another, they don't see themselves.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I know it's shit. I know it's crap. But the point is, you make this thing gets out of hand way quicker than people think that it does.
This guy with Telenali Summoner is going to hit for like 35.
That'll win you the game almost. We knew the number at one point. Like to get it to 40 isn't as hard as you think.
Well, 1 creature would be to 2. 2 creatures would be to 4. 3 creatures would be to 8.
16.
4 creatures, 16.
32.
64 is 6.
72. So 6.
6.
That's not bad. That's not difficult in decks that make tokens and things. This is a good card in this
6.
deck.
Telenali Summoner will get you there.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy like your mother. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Custody Soul Caller.
Just because you burned my mom, you have to tell everybody what this card does. You have to read that wall of text. Because I want to read the next one, which is more important.
Okay. 1/2 for 3. It's got melee. I'm going to just pretend it doesn't have that. Whenever it attacks, return target creature with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of players you attacked with a creature this combat. So at least 2. I'm going to get a 2-drop back. And
Yeah.
I'm practically only playing 2 drops.
So it's,
Okay.
let's talk about one drop or 1 power creatures.
Beckoning Will-O-Wisp?
No.
Oh,
No.
Alseid of Life's Bounty?
No. We
Oh.
are playing both of those also. And they can gain life and kill. I don't care what they do.
Yeah, one of them does something, creatures attacking get +1/+1 or O, and the other one is lifelink, and target creature or enchantment you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. That's really good. Let's move on to the little guys
Listen
matters
here,
section.
you fuck. Listen here. We're talking about 1 power creatures.
Oh, I didn't see this one.
We're going to talk about the creature that saw this list uploaded to our Discord.
Have you ever played this card before?
At least once. This deck was uploaded to the Discord, right?
Yes.
Then it was re-uploaded with a correction before I even had the chance to excommunicate all filler, no killer Miller from the nation.
You were going to all killer him.
Oh, yeah.
He was just going to be all killer.
Yes, he was just, he'd be a memory.
Do you
People
think, do you
where
think
did he
that-
go?
Do you think producer Gary knows about this card?
If he doesn't,
He's going to find out.
he's about to learn about the most handsome, the most versatile, the most powerful creature in all of Magic, Brash Taunter!
I think the neighbors just heard about Brash
Man,
Taunter.
that feels... And they should hear about Brass Taunter because he's the best creature of all time. Goes really good in this deck. He's a 1/1. He makes our dude bigger. He can fight our dude and just kill somebody.
Ooh, yeah, he can fight our commander.
Yep. Nice wall of blockers, scrub. Die. That's what Brash Taunter says. So good.
Can you imagine casting Brash Taunter with Offspring, and then you have 2? Oh. They would be Brash Twinters.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you, there was a time when I had Brash Taunter in my Brutaclad deck, and I had an army of Brash Taunters. I had so many brash taunters that I was fighting Smitty's Blightsteel Colossus.
Oh, no.
Which killed them as they fought. Still killed the whole table with them. I had that many brash taunters. It was so good. He's like, Brando, they die every time you do that. I was like, yeah, you're going to die way before I run out, bro. It was so good.
How do you feel about the new brash taunter art versus OG?
I have a soft spot for the OG just because he looks so deranged. But
Yes.
I don't hate this one. He's got kind of a fun little jacket on, and he's having a good time. He's out there doing
He's
his
still
business.
yelling at somebody.
Yeah, he's telling
That's-
somebody what's up.
That's the point.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's the point. Okay, so those are the little guys. We also have a bunch of things that care about little things.
Yes.
Or make it matter that we're playing little things over and above our commander getting bigger, because I don't think that that's big enough. And they kind of all sort of fall into a certain category.
Yes.
So if we recognize what that category is, I think we can just say it, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, the 11th Doctor actually has 3 power, though, so that matters.
Yeah, so he's here for...
Something, combat damage, don't care, time counter. 2, target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn.
Correct.
That's actually good with our Eldrazi
Yeah,
horror tokens.
It works with some of the bigger stuff that we're going to make
It
later on,
works
too.
good with Welcoming Vampire and Bishop of Binding. Like, if we make it unblockable first and then attack with vampires, and Bishop of Binding gives Welcoming Vampire a bonus.
If you apply that to something like a... What's the guy? I can't remember his name. The guy that gets big when other dudes come into play? Everybody knows the one I'm talking about. If you have a 1/1 that you make unblockable with an ability like that, and then he becomes a 10/10, is he still unblockable? Because he was previously made unblockable?
Target,
how that works?
Target creature with power 3 or less. So you can't target a creature with more than 3 power. That's how that is limited.
What
Right.
if you target something that has less than 3 power?
But then again, okay,
then
hold
it
on.
gets big.
Let's see if we can noodle this out. I can't, with that ability, target a creature with 6 power.
Correct.
I can only target 3.
Yes.
Then if it gets bigger,
Yes.
the ability doesn't care anymore, because all that remains is it can't be blocked this turn.
Excellent.
Judges, and I know that they're going to be in the Discord, tell me if we're wrong.
Devilish Valet is the card I was thinking
Yes.
about. If
Yes.
you go Devilish Valet is unblockable this turn, then you go, yeah, and he becomes a million, do you win?
I think so. I think so because we've got a Tetsuo Umezawa's Fugitive in here, and I've lost because of what you just described, though. Creatures, what you described there. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked.
Dope.
So I swing all in with my 1s. It's post...
Post blocking, before damage.
Oh, no, but this works differently, though,
Yeah, this is a different thing.
because it's got to be post block.
Yeah.
Well, with this 11th Doctor, then just pump them post blocks. That works.
It's not the Devilish Valet thing, unless you can do creatures in instant
Yeah,
speed.
yeah, there is some minutiae there, hey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Subira Toodaloof Caravaner is a very good card. I'm happy
Oh.
to see her in here.
There you go.
She's a 2/3 for red
Mm-hmm.
and 2 with haste. For 1 generic mana, another target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. That's pretty cool. And red 1, tap, discard your hand until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
There you go.
Pretty good. That should go in the card draw section too.
Yes, but it also goes in the can't be blocked this turn, and we're going to see a bunch of that redundancy, which
Yeah.
I think is super important. Next up, we've got, Lord of the Rings special. This is a powerhouse and from that set. Saradoc, Master of Buckland.
Never heard of it.
No, me neither. This is a 2/4 for 4. When Saradoc, Master of Buckland, or another non-token creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, you can make a 1/1 white Hobbit token, and you can tap 2 untapped halflings you control, hobbits you control, to give him +2 and gain lifelink until end of turn.
Sure.
Sure. Superpower All-Star in the Shire Jumpstart pack. Let me tell you, I've lost to this guy quite a few times playing old jumpies.
Playing Jumpstart.
Yeah, I got jumpied by Saradoc. Don't Google that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
I don't think that that's a very powerful card in this deck, but it does reference creature with power 2 or less.
So it does the job. This next card also references power 2
like
or
this
less. I do.
Okay.
Raid Bombardment is an enchantment for red and 2. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less attacks, this enchantment deals 1 damage to the defending player.
Ooh, I wonder if we're going to see that kind of effect again, too. We've got a Pathmaker Initiate. Tap to give a creature with power 2 or less unblockable. And we've also got like a Dwarven Warrior that does that. We've got Dwarven Nomads that do that. We've got a bunch more cards that do that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Neighborhood Guardian.
It's a unicorn?
What? I thought it was going to be a dog.
I
Didn't you think?
I did too.
This is a 2/2 for 2. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn.
Sure.
That's kind of a weird card. Sure. Goblin Tunneler.
That should be that frog that comes in doing the double guns that gives the +1/+1 counter.
Oh, he green though.
Is he?
He green.
Oh, I thought he was
Yeah.
blue.
Hey, I just pre-ordered 2 of those for from Fusion. Used CCO Summer promo code. I'm going to paint one for Aaron Car R, and I'm going to put one in my CEDH deck. Possibly the same paint job. Middle fingers for everybody.
Sick.
Okay. Goblin Tunneler, tap, make a 2-power unblockable. Goes along with your Goblin Smotherer, your Dwarven Warrior, your Dwarven Nomad, your Crafty Path Mage is blue version that does that.
Yep.
Cavalcade of Calamity. This
That's
is a damage one.
This is a cool one. Whenever a creature you control with power 1 or less attacks, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker that creature is attacking.
Oh, so we could Alpha Strike and have every single one of our guys die, but if we have this, we could still win?
Yes. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Does anything that we have put guys into play tapped and attacking? Because this wouldn't work with that.
Correct.
Yeah, that would be a non-bow. And the last thing that cares about little guys mattering is a break through the line, which is same thing as like the Goblin Tunneler or whatever, but this time you can go red, target creature with power 2 or less, gains haste, and can't be blocked.
Neat.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think, can we ever do that on our commander? I don't think so, hey? Because our commander just gets +X equal to the guys with 1 power.
Yeah.
Unless we have our commander and then cast a whole bunch of guys.
Yeah, you'd have to do this and then play a bunch of dudes.
We don't really have the mana production to do that in this deck, right?
Correct.
We don't have the horsepower.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we're going to do a lot of damage with that section, though.
Yes.
Like, unblockable is nothing to shake a stick at.
Correct.
Even if you're getting in for like 3 or 4 a turn. I know, like, in my...
When you're getting in for 3 or 4 and just for attacking, you're doing another 2 or 3, and then you're drawing 2 or 3 cards because you hit somebody with an unblockable creature.
My
That's pretty
Gwahir
good.
deck is really like that. It, like, with Reconnaissance Mission.
Sure.
Hit you, draw a card, and all my guys have flying and vigilance.
Coastal Piracy.
Yeah, I'm just going to frickin' do that every single turn, even if it's just for 1. Because making a potential enemy and dinking you for 1 or 2 isn't as big of a deal as me having like another card in my hand, right? Okay.
One more section.
Last section. Voltron.
Voltron.
What? Is that good in Raw Dog, you think?
Yeah.
I bet you it is.
I'll bet it is too.
If 1 power guys is like the power altitude that this exists at, having a Voltron with flying is probably good.
Yes.
Okay, so let's read. We've got 4 cards here. Phase Dolphin?
What the fuck is that?
Ikoria Special, Uncle Brando Special. It's a 1/4 for 3, elemental whale, not even a dolphin.
Huh.
When it attacks, another target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn.
So it'll get your giant commander in.
That's how we do it without caring that it's got more than 1 power.
Yes. Also, I think it would be funny if they called it an elemental mammal.
Yes.
Or elemental fish. That's even better, because then people are like, dolphins aren't fish, they're mammals. That would be funny.
Yes. Next up, we've got a Footfall Crater. This is an enchant land with cycling 1. And enchanted land has tap, target creature gains trample and haste until end of turn.
Pretty good.
I actually like this card.
I do too.
You play this card in any decks?
I do.
I used to play it in a dragon deck, I think.
I used to play it in my dice rolling, treasure making dragon deck, but it doesn't make a dragon or a treasure or make me roll a dice, so I had to cut it.
Yeah, I took my deck apart, but it was like, if I have dragons with haste and I draw this, I'll just cash it in for a card, and then eventually, like a turn or two later, when I play those dragons, they have haste anyways.
Yep.
So it like replaces itself. I like this one.
Pretty good.
Atali's Favor. Oof, damn it.
Doesn't do what I think I thought it was going to do.
Oh. Well, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has trample.
Sure.
If they got flying blockers, they're still going to die. And it enchants a creature you control. And when it enters the battlefield, you discover 3, which is like Cascade for something 3 or less. So we could basically just get any creature in our deck.
Basically anything in the deck except for that vampire.
That costs 4.
And
yeah.
Saradoc.
And Sculpted Sunburn.
And I guess Brash Taunter.
Oh.
Man.
You know what? Cut it.
You can't get Brash Taunter. Cut it.
Cut it. You know what? I think those Mountain Discover lands or whatever that got Discover 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll get a Brash Taunter.
Nope. Brash Taunter's 5.
Ooh.
Yeah, Brash Taunter's the cop of the turf. It's the top of the curve.
He's the cock of the curve.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. When you zoom out, it looks like a big dickhead. That's because Brash Taunter's in the mix, baby.
Because Brash Taunter's standing there with his fist in the air.
Yeah, that's right. And by fist, you know what we really mean.
Yes, sir.
It
And
just
he's
looks like an arm.
He's going to use it to slap your lips off.
And into the dirt.
Last card from Midnight Hunt, of all places.
Yeah, man, you know this is going to be a fucking winner.
Okay. Angel Fire Ignition. This sounds like a cool card.
Man, I'll bet you this card does so much damage. Let's read it.
Yes, sir. Okay, this is a white-red 1 sorcery. Put 2/+1 counters on target creature. It gains vigilance, trample, lifelink, indestructible, haste. Oh, man. That's lots of stuff.
Yeah.
And it flashes back for 4.
That's it?
What do you mean? Does lots of stuff.
Once. Is that a rare?
Yes, sir.
Can you imagine paying a bunch of money for a collector pack and opening that? I can.
Yeah, because it probably happened to you.
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Yeah, like 12 in a row.
Yeah, dang, man. Holy God.
That's the deck.
That's the whole deck.
The deck, the whole deck, and nothing but the deck. Now, super budget, raw dog. If you want to play against it, you go to CCO Experience Las Vegas, or if you're not a patron and you're not like in the planning for that, but you're going to MagicCon Las Vegas, I'm sure there's going to be a CCO area.
Look for
all
shirts
the
like
guys.
mine.
Yes, and shirts that have the regular logo on it. That I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed a good time when you play with anybody in the nation, especially if people are playing raw dog decks.
Yeah, buddy.
Because not only are they fun, well balanced, beat to crap, but they're also super creative, and like from design or its gimmick and why it's so shitty. Or like its carrying case, it might be a plastic bag, it might be a rubber band, it might be like an old shoe is the deck box, right? Like they're so funny. So
People are very creative in that way,
Yeah.
and we're lucky to have those
yeah.
people.
So let's move on to some strengths and weaknesses of said raw dog.
Strength. It's a raw dog deck, and it plays a very, very, very interesting commander who, if you decide to upgrade this deck to something like more, I want to say more significant in
Yeah.
terms of power, very easy to do.
Yeah, I'm thinking I like the 1/1 token makers at instant speed.
Yep.
Like put X 1/1 tokens into play.
Yep.
You attack. Oh, no blocks. Oh, flash in my frickin' 20 guys or whatever, kill
Yeah.
you. I think that would be so fun to do something like that.
And I mean, if you wanted to invest, you could play something like Krenko or Adeline or other things.
Yeah,
that
just
make,
go goblins or go
right, or the hero of Butthold, the one that attacks and makes dudes,
Yep.
and then war cries all your guys. Like, there's so many things you could do if you didn't care about your cards just getting smashed when you riffle shuffle them.
Yes, I like the go wide token strategy because the Voltron and tokens offers you 2 different ways. I like the combo nature of it because like combo making mana and like infinite tokens, let's say, is a way to win. But if you do that and can't win, you can still do it with your commander through Voltron. I like how it gives you 2 different avenues, but they're always in the deck together.
Yes.
I like that a lot. It's budget as hell. It's the new hotness, and it's got so many options is the strengths I have.
And the weakness of this deck, we talked about it before we went on the air, and I think maybe a little bit on the pre-show as well,
Yep.
is it does lack in just obvious top end. Once you
Yeah.
get late in a game at the end of the day, even if you have 2 of whatever it is, other than Brash Taunter or Devilish Valet, you're running low on the power scale.
Man, I keep forgetting we get 2 of everything.
Yeah.
We get 2 of everything.
So you might run into issues there where your opponent just has too much shit. And even if you're sneaking in your 1/1, your 2/2, if your opponent's got one good guy with lifelink, you're kind of in trouble now.
Or a guy that can just you take 2 and kill one of my guys, and then again you take 2 and kill one of my guys, and I'm always limited by that guy that I paid mana for without any payoff because I'm not ever getting your creature you're blocking with.
Yeah.
Right? Top end power. Voltron is hard to win with if you're playing in a removal heavy or an instant speed heavy meta, right? And a lot of casual environments don't have that or aren't that. But if you want to take this out of the raw dog casual environment and play it in a more tuned environment, you are going to have to find ways to instant speed make creatures and or take advantage of like bigger attacks, higher top end power, right?
Yeah.
You know what I like for this deck?
What do you like for this deck?
What's the white Crater Hoof? Cavalcade of Calamity? Is that it? No. The white Crater Hoof, when it enters the battlefield, gets all your creatures get +X, where X is the number of creatures, and they'll gain flying.
Yeah.
I like that card in this deck.
That'd be good.
Because you just got like a ton of little idiots. Let's jump them all and pew pew.
Get in there.
Cool.
Okay, again, your limit. That card's probably worth as much as you know what I like in this deck is Azure Beastbinder, which I'm very excited to say that word on the show. Because I've mentioned it in the last 3 shows
without remembering what it's called.
But I always thought it was a card I invented in my head. Azure Beastbinder is a really, really good card from Bloomburrow that I don't think people are. I think people are going to sleep on it a little bit. It's only worth 50 cents or something.
Yeah.
It's a 1/3 for blue 1 with vigilance. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater, which means creatures can't really kill it by blocking unless they multi-block it.
Yeah.
And whenever it attacks, up to 1 target artifact, creature, or planeswalker loses all abilities and becomes a 2/2 until your next turn.
So, and if we had 2 of them, we could eliminate 2 of their guys.
Yeah, and it's harder to block this guy profitably because if you're blocking him with a 1/1, it's going to trade it. You can't, if you block it with a 2/2, it's not going to die. So you learn what's going on with your opponent's boards. You know where to swing. It doesn't just hit things that your defending player controls. So you can attack buddy over here who's mana screwed. It's like, sorry, man, but you got to take 2 for the team so I can turn off his planeswalker that's about to ultimate and whatever they're
gets planeswalkers
and their Ulamog or whatever creature they happen to have, right? This is a really, really good card in a deck like this or in any deck, really, I think.
It doesn't turn planeswalkers into creatures. It just makes them have no abilities.
That's even better.
Well, maybe it is. You want planeswalkers to turn into creatures if you got a kill spell.
Oh, you can kill them.
Right? But a planeswalker with no abilities is also fine.
Yes.
Because then it literally does nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Nothing. It can't even attack for 2. I guess it gains them virtual life.
Sure.
Yay. Well, that might be hard to overcome in this deck.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, that's the weakness that we covered it already. But jumping back to the strengths, man, decks like this are so fun.
Decks like these are very cool.
And when you can squeak out full shove, 10 guys coming your way, these 3 are unblockable.
Yeah.
And this guy's actually got 10 power in the air. If you if you can get one out like that, man, it's the best.
I love when you go full shove. This guy's a 10-10, and they say, okay, I'll take it all. Yeah, you take 20. Yeah, I survived, bud. You're in deep shit now, right? That's the best. Yeah. And even though you're obviously not winning that exchange, that's pretty fun. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So that's the deck. Big thank you to all filler, no chiller Miller. Oh, I was going to say, if we didn't already, $55.
Yeah, and what is it? 20% of that is the commander because she is the new hotness. She does come from one of the pre-cons, so she's not hard to get, but you have to pay money in order to get them because you know where they are.
Yep.
So she's $8 or $9 or $10 if you're in Canada.
Most expensive card in the deck is Zinnia at $7 online or $8 online, and then other all-stars at the top of the price altitude include Angel Fire Ignition, Welcoming Vampire, and your boy
Brash Taunter, and all of those are like $1.50.
Yeah,
so it's not like you're breaking the bank. Brash Taunter, best card in Magic, so cheap.
Black Lotus, best card in Magic. So cheap if you're a billionaire.
Man, it's not even that good because it's banned.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you. Turn 5.
Yep.
I tap out.
Okay.
Brash Taunter.
Yep.
Go. You go. Draw. You're in my example.
Yes.
You're Hellbrand. You draw 1 card. And you go, Black Lotus. Everybody goes, ooh, you own a Black Lotus. And then the judge walks over and says, yeah, that's banned. You lose.
Game loss, you lose.
So.
Oh, no. If you're rich enough, you play your Black Lotus as a Jeweled Lotus proxy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it
there you
is.
go.
That's what the kids are doing in the burbs these days. Yeah, playing their blackies, their Black Loties as Julies.
Julies.
Yeah, Jewel butt plug.
Man,
Yep.
I hate these bugs, man.
Yeah, so big thanks to All Filler No Killer Miller. Make sure to check out Commander Munchies. He does them. Bloomburrow Chapter 1 is out. If you want to know the Magic story and only have 1 minute a day, that's how you do it. Big thanks to Pile of Bones for the delicious beer. We're going to go drink some. And big thanks to FusionGamingOnline.com, your source for all your Zinnia and 1/1 needs. CCO Summer going to get you a discount on the stuff that's only $55. You might as well build this deck for like less than $50.
Yeah, you can find most of it on the floor in your LGS, like we talked about earlier
Yes.
as well. Also, big thanks goes out to you for listening to us. Oh,
Send an email to Fusion customer service. Get them to sweep the floor of the warehouse. Send those cards in the mail. Build this deck.
yes,
That's it, right?
they might actually do. You know, I was listening to Commander Cookout 449. He's going to get a bunch of emails like that.
Yeah.
The God damn it, you guys, we already did it. We already sent all the cards away. Stop sending
We
this
send them to
goddamn
All Filler
message.
No Killer Miller. That's how we built the deck. Yeah.
So big thanks to you guys for listening. Big thanks to Pile of Bones for hooking us up with some beer. Big thanks to Gary in the Damn Studio for having us in here for another kick-ass Tuesday of recording. Fucking Commander Cookout Podcast. We're off for the weekend, and we're going to be back next week with another extra exciting episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!